Police and the wife of imprisoned black leader Nelson Mandela. When it was over, Winnie Mandela had been removed from the black ghetto of Soweto and moved to a town near Pretoria. Details now from Kiss Gibbons.
It was just a week ago at this funeral for 13 unrest victims that Winnie Mandela made the latest in a series of statements defying the government.
Pretoria has failed to rule our country.
By doing so, she also broke the so-called banning order, which, as well as prohibiting her from speaking at political gatherings, forces her to live in tiny Brandfort, 150 miles from her Soweto home. When the Brandfort house was destroyed in August, she moved back to Soweto, but after repairs were finished, the government made it clear it wanted her back in Brandfort. Today, the order forcing her to live there was lifted. However, she is still banned from Soweto, and when police arrived to tell her, she refused to go.
They just arrested her at gunpoint. They took her.
Cameras are banned in Soweto, but a spokesman for her lawyer says she was then dragged by the wrists to a nearby police car. At the same time, in the port city of Durban, a bomb was thrown under a parked minibus, reportedly by a black youth. 8 people were injured, including 2 children. Nearby shops had their windows shattered.
There was a loud explosion, and I saw the Kumbi on fire. And the next thing, there were 2 kids who were in the front of the Kumbi running out.
This is the first attack of its kind in broad daylight in the center of a white city against a clearly civilian target. Chris Gibbons for ABC News, Johannesburg.
There's new word from Lebanon today on the fate of one of the Westerners being held by Muslim extremists. In a 10-minute-long videotape, British journalist Alec Collette wished his family a Merry Christmas. And then Collette, who was kidnapped 9 months ago, called on Britain's Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher to release Arab and Muslim prisoners held in British jails.
Thatcher's position is irresponsible in that it does not respond to the values or to human rights, and in fact contradicts the very position which she holds in relation to human rights.
Meanwhile, Church of England envoy Terry Waite is once again in Beirut, carrying what he says are just and fair proposals for the kidnappers of several Americans.